The Cabinet of Ministers has taken measures to address the impact of the policies of the Trump administration. A task force has been formed with Commerce Minister Emma Hippolyte leading the charge to deal with the impact of the U.S. imposition of 25% tariffs on goods shipped from Mexico and Canada and 10% on imports from China. On Monday, President Donald Trump said he would pause tariffs on Mexico for a month, but levies on Canada and China are set to take effect on Tuesday. This has prompted concerns about the increased cost of goods.
This shows basically how what happens out of St. Lucia, away from St. Lucia, has an impact on St. Lucia. It's a very small economy, a small society, and the imposition of tariffs, what we are very concerned about is the impact it have on inflation, on the cost of goods and services in St. Lucia, particularly food. But as you know, we import many of our food and other goods from the U.S. So this is why we are creating that special task force to look at the implications. And I hope that all the people involved in the importation of goods or work with that task force to see what we can do to mitigate against the effects of the tariffs.
The situation, according to the Prime Minister, forces the country to look inward. More than ever, he says, St. Lucia needs to get serious about its food security.
I don't want to sound reproachful, but remember some time ago in my first year of office when I spoke about using our bananas and how I was ridiculed by the opposition, and when I spoke about people trying to use to consume what they grow, and I put a pun in it. I said, eat what you grow and watch what you eat and eat what you watch. How that was ridiculed. It was because of the lack of foresight in the opposition, for their desire to play politics with everything. When I spoke about cassavas, when I spoke about the cassava industry, again I was ridiculed. It has all come to the forefront of the necessity for food security. And what better food security that you can have than beginning to grow, to eat what we grow in St. Lucia.
Home Affairs Minister Jeremiah Norbert, meanwhile, will lead a task force that oversees matters related to the deportation of illegal immigrants. Currently, 8 St. Lucians are due for deportation. However, these individuals were identified prior to the commencement of President Trump's recent illegal immigration crackdown. A list emerged last week indicating that over 200 St. Lucians are marked for deportation. But this list has not been verified as yet, says the Prime Minister.
As is expected, there's a little panic with that, and we understand that. But I don't want to speculate. Nor must I spread panic. What I'm saying is that we've got no official notification yet. What we know is there are a few people, I think 8, who are ready for deportation to St. Lucia long before what's happening now. These people are going to be coming back. As to the rest, we've got no official advice yet from the U.S. government in terms of there is a list, that list is being verified and being looked at. But in terms of they're saying to us that we have X amount of people coming, we've got nothing in nature.
The Prime Minister also disclosed that several programs have been affected by the freeze on U.S.-funded foreign aid.
The violence interruption program sponsored by USAID, the CREP, which is the Community Reintegration Program for the inmates of Bordelais, and the OASIS program, they are now on hold because they're waiting for the final word from the US. But the government will do everything within its power to safeguard these programs.
The Prime Minister has called for calm among citizens and has given the government's commitment to safeguarding the well-being of all St. Lucians.
I can't assure anything. The United States policy is not dictated by St. Lucia. The United States policy is dictated by the United States. When they decide on the policy, we have to find ways and means of mitigating the effects. So assurance is not possible. What's possible is the government will do whatever the government can do within its powers to lessen the effects of American policy on St. Lucia.
For the DBS News World, Zane Romulus reporting.